This car is another one of Dave's masterpieces. The modifications were more difficult than anyone could have imagined. The bodywork alone took 7 months to build. A few days ago, a rare car came into the factory. This is a 1958 Lincoln Continental. It's nearly 6 meters long. The wheelbase is a staggering 3 meters, and the aircraft and rocket design elements on the body. It's a classic symbol of the 50s. For the modification plan of this car, the owner had some plans before he came here. He hoped that Dave could retain the original style while, with more modern technology, to bring this old car to a whole new level. In addition to the choice of powertrain, the owner also had his own ideas. In order to satisfy his childhood pursuit of speed, he wanted Dave to install a 12-cylinder engine. Whether it is going to the track or a car show, it can be the center of attention. After understanding the owner's idea, Dave started working on the renderings right away. Given that this 1598 Lincoln Continental, it's got an air of superiority all its own, so Dave didn't want to make any drastic changes to the exterior. But in order to satisfy the owner's requirements, Dave will still build on the original foundation, to the front and rear bumpers, and some adjustments to the wings on both sides, to make the whole body line look more beautiful. In addition, because the owner wants to install a 12-cylinder engine, Dave will also do some work on the cabin, to bring out the power of this old car. In terms of the color scheme, Dave chose a bold color scheme, to satisfy the owner's request to attend a car show. Light blue paint and beige interior. Dave believes that this combination of colors will give the car a different look and feel. After completing the preliminary rendering, the next step was to dismantle the car, but it wasn't as easy as they thought it would be. Although this is an old car from the 50s, but the parts on it are no less than those on today's cars. In order to put them back together at a later date, the technicians not only have to pack up every part and mark them, in some places, they even need to take photos to record the location. After a few hours of hard work, the dismantling of the car was finally completed, and the paint has been sandblasted. And now it's time to make one of the most important changes to the car, replacing the chassis with a stronger one. In order to prevent the cutting process, to prevent the body from falling apart because of the lack of support, the technicians will first weld some steel frames around the body, to support the whole body. Then they measure the width between the chassis. Then we can cut along the door sills on both sides of the body. During the cutting process, the technicians have to make sure that the width of the chassis is the same as the width of the chassis, so that the new chassis fits the body better. After a series of efforts, the chassis was successfully installed. But this is only the first step. The technicians have to use a laser scanner to adjust the level, to make sure the left and right sides are at the same height. And once that's confirmed, the chassis and the body are welded together. Once the body and chassis are complete, then it's time to start making changes to the details of the body. According to Dave's rendering, the fenders on the rear wheels will be changed to the same shape as the front wheels, in order to avoid the two wide tires at the back rubbing against the bodywork. So the mechanics will have to modify the inner wheel arches at the back, increase their width inwards by about 10 centimeters or so. Once the wheel arches have been modified, the next step is to follow the Dave's instructions, to redesign the two rear fenders. But what the mechanics didn't realize, Dave's panels had serious dimensional problems. Not only were they out of proportion, they were twice as small. This made the job a lot more difficult. The mechanic had to recreate the bodywork to the same dimensions, by splitting the plate into several different shapes, and then put them back together according to the size of the rear wheels. After completing the initial design, the technician has to test fit the bodywork again and again. Once the dimensions are met, it's ready to be completely welded to the body. Honestly, I can't help but admire the craftsmanship of the technician. The finished result looks just like the original, and that's when an important accessory arrived in the workshop. With the package opened, a beautiful engine appeared in front of everyone's eyes. This is an all-aluminum 12-cylinder engine that Dave has custom-made. It not only has a displacement of 9.8 liters, it's got a twin mechanical supercharger intake system, which allows it to easily reach over 900 horsepower. So in order to show this big guy off better, Dave designed a unique shape on the bonnet. His idea was to cut a hole in the bonnet, and then, depending on the size of the hole, and then create a recessed border, and then installing a transparent acrylic sheet on top. This not only gives the car a customized look, and also show off the engine's highlights. As the project progresses, the restoration of the bodywork has almost come to an end. Next up, just need to take care of the last few details. This 1958 Lincoln, it's ready for paint prep, but it's not an easy job at all. The car has a lot of complicated lines, and a body that's almost 6 meters long, so that makes the sanding job a lot more difficult. In order to make sure that each panel is perfectly flat, the technicians will check by pulling the wires. Once all the requirements are met, it's time for the final coat of paint. As this Lincoln Continental is a unibody design, with the exception of the doors and the convertible top, all the other panels are connected to the frame, so it's going to be a very difficult job. And the paint Dave chose, it's not just a blue color. Under the sunlight, there's a little bit of green in the paint. With the body back in the workshop again, the technicians are going to start the final assembly. Firstly, the suspension and the wheels, because that's the only way to get the body out of the lift script. If there's one job that's the most complicated to install, is the 900 horsepower engine. During the installation process, the technicians not only have to avoid touching the paint on the body, they also have to connect the complicated wiring. On the other side of the workshop, the interior work is also underway. To contrast with the color of the paint, Dave chose a light white leather for the interior, and he's added some custom moldings to the interior. Dave's idea was to make the interior look understated and luxurious. So to modify a car well, not only do you need to have a unique idea, you also have to be good at what you do. And that's where the hard work of everyone at the garage comes in. That's why the this 1958 Lincoln Continental is going so well. And now, with all the work being done, that means this car will soon be ready to meet its owner. To show off the car's custom style, Dave chose a car show as the venue for the delivery. The first thing that caught the owner's eye was the color of the paint. At first he was a bit skeptical about the color, but after seeing it in action, he was totally attracted to the blue-green color, especially under the sunlight. It shows a gradation of colors. The lines of the car become more beautiful and attractive, and the interior color scheme. Dave also perfectly explains what is called reasonable. Compared to the original rustic color scheme, the lighter colors are much more comfortable. To reflect the customization of the car, Dave also made some minor changes to the interior trim to make them look more coherent. It's a more modern aesthetic. If we were to say that the most successful changes were made to the car, the rear of the car would have to be number one. Compared to the original car's cumbersome shape, the current one not only looks much simpler, at the same time, it also has some sci-fi feeling. The design of the taillights, Dave has cleverly hidden them underneath the panel. When the brake is pressed, the whole rear end will form a strip of lights. It looks very cool. In addition to that, the side of the car is also a highlight. In order to make the lines of the car look more smooth, Dave has moved the front fenders to the rear wheels, and the bodywork was lowered. The whole car looks like a piece of art on the road. Next up, we'll take a look at the powertrain, which is the owner's main concern. In order to show the characteristics of the 12-cylinder engine, Dave designed a transparent viewing port on the hood. Even with the invisible cover closed, you can still feel this powerful heart. After Dave opened the hood, the aesthetics of the machine are violent. In order to get this thing into the car, Dave moved the firewall back a full 20 centimeters. Of course, in addition to the beautiful cabin, the engine's parameters are also quite frightening. It's got almost 1,000 horsepower. At the end of the video, let's take a look at his ferocious roar.
The fun button? Oh, with the big heart comes the big noise.
This video ends here. If you like it, you can like it and follow it. We'll see you next time.